Hey, it's Lee. Welcome to Business Problem Solved. Today, I have the amazing pleasure of chatting with Veronica Owusu, transformational online course creation strategist and also online deep dive mindset coach. Hello there, Veronica. How are you?
Hello, Lee. Thank you so much for inviting me over and having this conversation.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. That's quite a mouthful of a title of things that you do, isn't it?
I know. So, this is I call it my gold dust, right? And from the essence of my gold dust, I serve, with focus and clarity. And I serve specifically coaches and consultants, and I help them package their gold dust, right? And create online transformational courses and programs so that they can further have an impact on their tribe, and attract their soulmate clients. So yes, I'm an online course creation strategist as well as a deep dive mindset coach. So I mix those two together and we have this cocktail of alchemy and gold dust everywhere.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. So that's what you do now. But how did you get into this? What is your journey to get to that seat today?
Oh boy. Gosh, so Lee, most people know me as this, right? Online course creation strategist, deep dive mindset coach. I show up online. Most people know me as this confidence, fearless warrior, right? Most people call me V Power Coach and the Gold Dust Queen, like all these things. But what most people don't know about me is that this is like 9 years ago. I'm standing in front of a pawnbroker shop selling my precious belongings because our two companies had gone bankrupt. We had an import-export company and we had a branding agency. And after about 4 or 5 years of running it, we spiraled down. And you know what, Lee? It was in that very moment, as I handed over my precious belongings, I heard that little voice like, Veronica, what on earth are you doing? Are these the kind of choices that you want to be making? And the hair on my back stood like the lump in my throat. I could not utter a word because you know what, Lee? I was giving my wedding ring. That was what was left of everything after selling the
Wow.
cars, the furniture, the equipment, like literally everything. That was what was left to that extent. So it was in that very moment I say, V powerless transformed into V power because I heard that little voice and she was my warrior, my fearless warrior, but she was caged. It was at that moment I realized, I've been living somebody else's dream, living up to somebody else's expectation of who I should or shouldn't be. The programming, of course, in my mind was created these bars, these metal bars within. And I needed something to change. It meant taking 100% responsibility for my life, for all that had happened up to that very moment. So the question was, okay, so what do you want now? If this is not the life, if these are not the kind of choices you want to be making, then what kind of choices should you be making? And that embarked me on this immersion into personal development because by some divine coincidence, I stumbled upon this book, Conversations with God, nothing religious, ironically, by Neil Donald Walsh. And it opened this gateway into the subconscious mind, into the paradigms, into the belief system, into the universal principle. I was like, whoa, I had created that rut. I had created that, if I dare say, that shithole I was in. But the good news was, according to what I had, been introduced to and my eyes kind of opened, the good news was, well then, hey, let's play. I can recreate. I can redesign. I can reprogram and rewire. So that's where it all started. And I remember I would go jogging, I would be in the tram, I would be walking, and you'd see me with headphones, and I'll be listening to James Allen, the pioneers of the personal development world, Napoleon Hill, Clement Stone, like even up to Tony Robbins, like the whole spectrum of personal development gurus. Little did I know, Lee, that I was planting and sowing seeds of
Yeah.
empowerment, of inspiration. I didn't know. Back 10 years ago, I was like, I didn't know this was called reprogramming even. But as the seed started to sprout, not everybody liked it. Not everybody was happy with this new Veronica. more confident, more, more decisive, like no, no is no. I'm no longer going to be passively living according to your standards or your expectations. This is what I want, and this is what I want to create. So that meant, of course, my marriage kind of stumbled onto the rocks during that period. But fast forward, when I finally came here to the UK, I always say coaching found me. Because I always used to be a teacher back before I even became an entrepreneur. That was my very first passion, teaching. Having this ability to inspire and empower children. I followed my mom's footsteps. I remember seeing her teach, and I was so inspired that I said, I want to do that. So when I came to the UK, I say coaching found me because I stumbled upon this Facebook feed, and it said, oh, learn how to unlock potential, become a coach, get rid of limiting beliefs. I was like, whoa, that's my language. Because, 3 years prior to that, I'd already been reprogramming my mind, remember? I was like, I need to check this out. And when I attended their workshop, I was like, whoa, this is it. This is what I have been reading and been so passionate about. And the reprogramming, it finally came to me. So I'm like, I'm going to become a coach. I'm going to become a personal development coach. So after a few months, of course, I had to gather the finances and the investments, and I invested in myself. And then I became the coach. And so what? And so bloody what? You're a coach. Now that's where the second half of the journey began. Because the fact that you're a coach and you have the skills doesn't mean that you can run a business successfully. 80%, if not more, of coaches are struggling because it's so difficult to now just find your voice in this deep, vast ocean, especially in the online world. Like, who are you as a coach? And what do you represent? And that embarked me on a journey of self-discovery as a coach, finding my art of coaching. Yes, I had the skills. So what? Yes, I could unlock potential, but what did that mean even? And for who? Every single body? Bring it on. I was like, okay. I was looking everywhere outside. It's only when I paused and I said, you know what? This is not happening. Clients are trickling in. I'm not quite sure. There's inconsistency in my messaging. Every networking event I would go to, there'd be a different messaging. I was like, something is not right. I need more clarity. I need more focus. What exactly am I meant to do here on this earth? What is my mission? What is the purpose? And of course, I had to also work with my mentors and my coaches. Coaches need to have coaches. So over a period of time as a coach, I evolved and I found my voice. I found my story. But you know what that meant? It meant unearthing all the skeletons for the past. Yes. Yeah. Unearthing skeletons, yes, but also the treasures I had buried. My past as the entrepreneur, the one that was standing from the pawnbroker shop, right? The one I had buried and forgotten about. That once upon a time teacher that I had also buried. I was like, I'm a coach. I don't need that anymore. So I unearthed all that and I found it, the gold dust. And the gold dust is like the intersection between your passion, your knowledge, and your skills. My passion was to make a difference in the world. My passion was to unlock potential. My passion was to allow people to live to their highest selves. But that was too vague. You're not going anywhere with that. Online, especially. That's great. It sounds beautiful. It sounds so nice and juicy. But okay. So the question is how? But looking at my gold dust, listen, I was an educator, teacher for over 10 years. That is over 84 million hours. And the main skill that I harnessed was lesson planning. That's what got my students results. Lesson planning, course creation, program development schemes. This is what we do as teachers, especially in Poland. They were very rigid about these things. So putting that together, it's like, after that time, I'd been a coach for over 3 years, struggling, right? I was like, you know what? I'm going to help other upcoming coaches create their online courses so that they can live up to their highest potential and make an impact in the world. My passion, tick. My knowledge, tick. My skills, tick. And that was it. And my business blew up from there.
Yeah.
When I went 10 meters deep and found my gold dust. So now I help as a result. That is why today I want to equip other coaches with the mindset, with the skills, with the tools to thrive online by creating transformational online courses, but by first unearthing your gold dust. because
Yeah.
they have their buried stories as well. They have their buried past that they've long forgotten. So wow, in a nutshell,
Yeah.
that was a
Wow.
long journey.
It was. When you articulate your journey, it sounds like, so as you're coming across now, you are a confident individual that is knowledgeable and passionate about what you do. Have you always been as confident and as passionate as you are coming across now?
So first of all, let's identify what confidence means. Confidence, I wasn't born confident, right? like how I am now, you know. Confidence, I always say, is a byproduct.
Yeah.
Imagine you are the factory, and the factory needs to know what it's producing. It needs to have a system. It needs to have, you know, a production line and all these things for it to produce this or emits the energy. So confidence is energy. It's literally energy. Like when you look at it in plain blank, it's energy. So energy is produced. So confidence has to be produced. When I see my videos 4 years ago and my videos now, I think I need to put a post on LinkedIn. That reminds me. Yeah. Oh boy, it's like day and night. You can literally see the growth in confidence. It's literally, it's so visual in the way I carry myself and my body language and the tone of my voice, and even how deep my voice has become. I was like, when I'm listening 4 years ago, it was like a bit squeaky, a bit, I don't know if it has something to do with confidence as well, but even the tone changes. The way you articulate yourself, because you're so clear, you have so much focus, you have so much clarity. So confidence is a byproduct of having the focus, the clarity, the systems, the structure, the capacity, the capability to do what you were meant to do on this earth.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what confidence is an output of you identifying your goal dust. So that is allowing you to talk passionately now about what you do.
Yes.
But you as an individual, before your gold dust moment, and because you're now on this trajectory, you've now got complete clarity, and that's what's coming across, complete clarity about who you are and what you do. Have you had challenges before that point that were maybe you weren't as confident, and how did you get through it without the clarity of your passion and your purpose?
You know, this reminds me when I was 8 years old, and it goes all the way back to when the seeds were planted. I was about 8 years old. This is year 4. And I remember we were 30 children in the class. We had an oral English spelling test, and I was sitting somewhere at the back. And as a teacher, you know, approached me, she asked each child, you know, how to spell this, how to spell that. And when it came to my turn and she gave me the words, I could not spell them out of the 30 children. And she said, Veronica, come and see me at break time. Break time comes, I go to the teacher. She says, you need to go to the vice principal's office. As I walk down to the vice principal's office, I'm dreading not to see my mom who's a teacher at that school as well. Yeah. That's the worst thing. But I approach the vice principal's office. I open the door and I see her, you know, shuffling through some papers. She's obviously very busy. She looks at me and says, so you can't spell. Go and sit in the corner over there, Veronica. She obviously didn't have time for me at that moment. So I'm 8-year-old child sitting in the corner of that room, tears trickling down my cheeks, wondering, what have I done? What's wrong with me? I can't spell. Obviously, I'm not good enough. These were the thoughts that were running through an 8-year-old's mind. And you know what was happening? There were seeds that were being planted. You're not smart enough. You're not clever enough. You're not good enough. You're not good at math. You're not good at English. You're not good at all these things. And funny enough, I repeated year 4. I don't know what the system is like now, but if you don't pass the final exams, you don't go to the next year. Back then, this is like very long ago. I'm almost 40 years now, so you can imagine. And so those seeds planted, and I never really felt I was good enough, or I never really felt I was smart enough. I love dancing. I love performing. You'll see me everywhere when it came to, you know, performing and arts and all those things. But academically, I always felt I wasn't good enough. So fast forward, when we set up those businesses, no, I was not confident. And it was so obvious as I was passively living life, allowing others to steer the wheel. Saying yes when I should have said no, saying no when I felt I should have said yes, and all the things that I should have been doing that meant I was driving my driver's seat. No, I was taking the back seat, allowing others to run the show for me. So I seemed or came across as this confident woman, after all. But deep inside, I was filled with self-doubt and lack of self-love, really, because you don't really realize the extent and the relationship you have with yourself until you hit that rock bottom and you realize like what exactly am I doing in my life? And realizing that until you start taking responsibility and having that relationship with yourself, first and foremost, meaning knowing who you are. Confidence is pretty much an illusion in many ways. I did come across as confident, but deep inside there were doubts, there were, that negative self-talk, and I never really lived up to the standards that I wanted. So answering your question, was I always confident like this, even without the clarity or the focus? Obviously I wasn't. Looking back at my past, connecting the dots, I was not the confident person that I am today.
Yeah, and it sounds like the pawnbroker moment was the catalyst for your journey of self-development, and then taking you to the person that you are today, the passionate, purpose-driven individual that is helping so many other people. Do you believe? So I work with a lot of people, and I was saying just before we hit record that 70% of attendees who come on my confidence courses are female, and a lot of people don't have the opportunity to work for themselves. Maybe their personal circumstances require them to remain employed, or they might not have the confidence to follow a journey like you've taken on finding your purpose, aligning your passion, and going for that. If there's somebody that is not able to fully do that as you've done it, how do you believe that they could be more confident? Does that make sense? Because yeah, go on. I'll stop there rather than waffle on.
Yeah. It takes a journey. It is a journey. It's a journey that starts with knowing who you are. So what does that even mean? If somebody has this passion to set out on their own and, create or transform your passion into purpose and into a business that allows them to live on their own terms, it has to start with knowing yourself. And that sounds so cliche, because what does that even mean? So let me demonstrate. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate it on you for a second, if I may. So I'm going to just play along with me, all right? So I'm going to say, hello, are you there?
Hello, yeah. I'm here, yeah. Are you?
Okay, great. So you say, I am here. Who?
Who? Lee?
Yeah.
Lee's here? Yeah.
Okay, but just a minute. You can change your name. Tomorrow you can be Peter, can't you?
I could be, yeah. So
you could be. Who is the I am? If Lee could be Peter tomorrow, I can literally change my name from Veronica to Sophia tomorrow if I wish to, if only I wish to. So when you say I am Lee and you can change your name, so then you're Peter, so then who's Lee? So the question is again, hello, who are you then, if not Lee?
Well, no, that's a good question, because I've defined myself as the label, as the name.
And that's where the issue with confidence starts. We identify ourselves with things that we are not.
Yeah. So what are we then?
Yeah, I'll get there.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting excited now.
No, that is the beginning of confidence, knowing who you are. So that means Lee or Peter, knowing what you're not. So if you're not Peter, okay, then let me ask you, when you look at your hand for a minute. Okay, you're looking at your hand? Good. Yeah. All right, I'm going to be a bit drastic. Imagine your hand falls off for a minute. Yeah?
Yeah.
Hello, you still there?
Yeah,
you still there?
I'm still here, yes. Yes.
You're still here. Your hand is not there because it's been cut off, but you're still there.
Yeah.
If I cut off your other hand, your leg, I'll say, hello, you still there? And you'll say, yes, I am.
I am,
so you're not your body. Oh boy. Oh boy. You're not Lee, you're not your body. So who on earth are you? Who is saying I am?
That's a good question.
You see,
Yeah.
that's the source. That is the gateway to confidence, knowing who you are. You could even say the gateway to spirituality, because that's the essence. When you know who you are, you have the confidence, the fearless confidence, because you have know without a shadow of a doubt. But that means knowing what you are not. So if you're not your name, you're not your body, and even your thoughts. Let's think about that. Okay,
Yeah.
you have some thoughts racing through your mind. You thinking right now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Who's watching? Who's listening? Or who's looking at your thoughts?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
That I, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
the I. So the I is the one that sees, that feels, right? But it's not the thoughts that you think. It's not the body. It's even not the feelings. But let me tell you, you are the witness. You are the observer. You're the one that watches. The I, the one that sits in the highest seat of consciousness. That's who we are. And until I discovered that for myself, that was like groundbreaking for me. That was like a game changer. I am pure consciousness, pure energy. So I am a creator, and I can create anything I wish, because I am not identified, or I'm not attached to my name
Yeah.
or my body or my thoughts, because that's not who I am. So that gives me the opportunity to be everything I want,
Yeah.
and more. And that's where creation happens. So answering the question about confidence, it starts by knowing that you are not your thoughts, because that's what you said. You identify yourself with Lee. Listen, Lee, or Peter, when I was studying from the pawnbroker shop, the question that came to my mind was, okay, Veronica, you have nothing to your name. So if everything that you had ever identified yourself with ceases to exist, then who on earth are you, Veronica, now? And when you attach yourself to all these things which you are not, that's where confidence can really spiral down. Because if you don't have the status of a manager, you've lost your job in the pandemic, and you had that attachment, that identity, that's who you are, and it's lost, then of course you lose your confidence naturally. If you are, created this persona, this psyche around your thoughts and these things that keep on, fogging your mind, and I'm so careless, or I'm so, I'm so useless, I'm such a loser, or I'm this and I'm that. Well, those attachments, you've attached yourself. So that's who you think you are. And then you fall into that trap naturally.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. So what you're saying, and the way that you've just done that now has got me questioning who I am. But what I've got this other little niggling thing that's in my mind at the minute that's going. Okay, I understand everything that you're saying. Okay, I understand, and that I'm not my hand. I am something. I am something different. How do people when they've had that penny drop moment and they realize that actually they are not what they thought they were? How do you then start to join the dots between who you really are and becoming something more in the way that you currently believe you are? Is that in the real world?
I get that. Absolutely. We are, of course, spiritual beings having this human experience. The body, we are in the material world, right? So we need to function as well, right? It's not like, we're just the consciousness and we're all up there in the seat of consciousness and nothing else happens. We are having this body experience, but you see, that is it. You, the observer, the highest consciousness, you are here to experience the world. So you create situations, you create experiences that you wish to have. So that means, of course, identifying what brings you joy, identify what's important to you.
Yeah.
And then taking those aligned action where the consciousness, the spirit is aligned with the body and the soul, and we're all working in harmony. We're working together, because you see, the lack of confidence is when there's a lack of alignment. you're lost. The body's lost, the mind is like somewhere else, and we're all messed up.
Yeah.
We feel stuck, we feel frustrated, we feel stressed out. That's not natural. That is not the natural state of being. It's just like a bottle of water. It's murky because it's all shaken up, right? Leave the bottle, the murk settles, and what happens to the water?
Yeah. What happens to the water when it settles? Yeah. So
when the murk settles, what happens to the water?
It clears.
Yes, because that's the natural state of water.
Yeah.
It's clear. It's transparent. And that's the natural state of being. We're already naturally peaceful. We already have clarity. We already have awareness, like all the good things of love, awareness, harmony, joy. That is a natural state of being because we were created from love. So we are naturally loved. These are the things that are naturally us.
Yeah.
But of course, if the things get in the way, and then we create the murk, and then we think that we are the murk,
yeah.
You know, and we think we're the murky water because that's the murky water we see, right? Because that's what you see in the bottle, murky water, when it's all shaken up. Forgetting that when you leave the bottle to settle, the murk settles and you have transparent, clear water, the natural state.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. No, completely. I really resonate with a lot, everything that you're saying, and I think that the reason why I'm pausing in between some of the things that I'm saying is because my mind is whirring at the minute around. I'm still trying to answer who I am in my head whilst we're having this conversation. So how long does it take somebody? And this might be an unfair question, but how long does it take somebody to really realize who they really are? To allow them that, so you said the very first step is understanding who you are.
Yeah.
How long does that take? Because people want to have results. If people are feeling not very confident or not worthy, or they've got this self-doubt, and people want results a lot quicker, and a lot of people don't have the patience to wait, and they would rather just stay where they are than have the pain of going through the journey of really understanding. So how long of a process is that, Veronica?
So Lee, from what you just said, we're always choosing, consciously or unconsciously. So if we're stuck, frustrated, overstressed, lost, stuck, that's what you're choosing. No, it sounds weird. Why would I choose to be stuck? Why would I choose to be always frustrated or overstressed? Or why would I choose all these things? No, you're choosing. You cannot choose what you don't want. That's just how it works. You cannot choose what you don't want. So subconsciously, you do want to stay stuck. You do want to stay in this comfort of frustration because that's what you know.
Yeah.
So how long does it take? The moment you decide, the moment you choose that, you know what, something needs to change, and I'm going to start discovering what that looks like. Whatever it is, I'm not sure. I'm not even sure of the path, but I choose to change something in my life, and that means changing something within, finding exactly who I am. And that's where discovery, I think, do you think how did I find myself? It took a journey, but it took a decision.
Yeah.
And the fact that I stumbled upon that book, Neil Donald Walsh, Conversations with God, I believe it was something that was attracted to my life because I made a decision. And once you make a decision, world starts shifting for you, because what you seek is always seeking you. And if you're seeking frustration and overstress, you will find it. But if you choose to seek clarity, the right people, the right books, the right song, the right book will appear.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love that. I love that. Earlier on in the conversation, you said that that you help people find their gold dust, and you might need to dig up some of the past and uncover to be able to uncover the gold dust. How do you uncover gold dust?
Right. So it's digging into the stories. You see, we have these hidden stories, and which we are ashamed of. We are kind of, we hide behind, right? Who we used to be in the past, right? Our experiences. But you see, when we know who we are, we know that we're the witness. So the witness is just the one that was there. The witness is the one that experienced. The witness is the one that saw what the eyes saw. You with me?
Yeah.
So what that means, unearthing, it means knowing who you are and that you're not your stories. You're the witness of them, yes. And now your job now is to retell what you witnessed. So you're not attached to the stories, right? You're not attached to, the shame or the guilt, whatever it is that you experience. Now you're using it as an instrument to empower, to retell what was, hidden, and use it as an instrument of empowerment and inspiration. So that's part of the unearthing, identifying your warrior story, right? But also unearthing means identifying your passions and identifying your interests, but also the skills and the experiences that you have pretty much forgotten about because you are this new coach and you think you're here to just, make a difference in the world, but you're not quite sure what that looks like. So the unearthing process means crafting your warrior story, looking deeper into the essence of your experiences, looking deeper into your passions, your interests, and start to connect the dots. Because you know what, Lee? The gold dust, they're particles, right? They're everywhere. You can't really, it sparkles, it's shiny, there's a lot of good stuff there too. But the whole point of creating a transformational online course requires you to connect the dots and see where we can now narrow down and focus on that one problem that you're going to solve through this course. Because we can't sell anything which is too vague, too general. That doesn't sell. For online courses, systems, methods, blueprints, roadmaps, that's what people need to get them from A to B. So you need to find your roadmap that you've once walked through, and that means connecting the dots in your gold dust. It is, I'm speaking a bit, with a little bit of metaphors here and analogies here, but that is the essence of it ultimately, and you need to package that. And that's where my teaching skills comes in, and then we use that to discover who your tribe is, meaning your ideal client, your soulmate client, however you want to call it, and then discovering more about them so that we can, based on who they are, create a program that matches their needs and your, not just your general needs, but your urgent needs that they need solved now.
Yeah, completely. Okay, no, you're fascinating, Veronica, aren't you? Honestly, I could talk to you all night. But unfortunately, time doesn't allow for that. But what's next for Veronica? What's next? Where do you want to take this? What do you want it to be?
I want to take this back to my father's village. So my father came from the Ashanti Kingdom, and he was born in a little village back in Kumasi. And I want to take the gold dust effect, meaning packaging our gold dust. And I want to teach the skills to the women there so that they can also now package their skills and not only kind of depend on the brick and mortar kind of businesses and, opening shops, because that's very popular. Open a shop, convenience shop or some kind of boutique, or these little shops. There's so many all around. It's all about now service. How can you be of service? That's where the value is. And so my vision, I was supposed to be in Ghana last year, but because of the COVID, I couldn't fly. My flight was canceled. So my vision for 2021 is to start the Gold Dust Project back in my father's village with the women there and helping them to package their gold dust into services that will leverage the community, that would leverage, themselves and their family, and the community can also grow from those things. And even, who knows, even do greater things in the country. But yes, starting from the community, that's where it starts. So that's the goal for today.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that. And when you talk about, did you say it was Poland where you grew up? Ghana?
No, I was born and bred in Ghana. I was born and raised in
Ghana, then Poland.
Yes. I went to Poland to do my master's degree. So after I finished my A-levels, I was maybe 19, 20. I went to Poland to do my master's in educational sciences and became a teacher. Within that period of time, diverted and lost my way in this entrepreneurial world. Hit rock bottom, unleashed that fearless warrior, immersed in personal development, moved to the UK for a fresh start, coaching, found her, evolved as a coach, and now here she is serving other coaches.
And they're going to complete that circle by going back to Ghana to do that work that you've just described. Then I think
Yes.
it's a beautiful circle, isn't it? And I think you're taking your lessons and everything you've learned every step of the way to close that loop as well. Honestly, it's I mean, it's a really powerful story you have, Veronica. It's a really passion, and you're really passionate when you're talking and coming across, and I believe that you will be whatever you want to be, and this will just naturally happen, won't it?
Thank you.
No, honestly, I've thoroughly enjoyed the conversation that we've had, and the challenging questions that you've asked me as well. They're making me think more than I've thought for a long time. But so if people wanted to maybe work with you or understand more about you and your journey, where would they go? What would they do? What would they see?
Yeah, if people are really ready to unearth your gold dust and, make a difference in the world with that gold dust by creating these transformational programs for their tribe, then you can find me on LinkedIn, V Power Coach. You can, find me, you can just search V Power Coach, or you can visit my website, vpowercoaching.com. I'm on social media everywhere as V Power Coach. So if you go on Instagram or Facebook and just search V Power Coach, written all together, you should find me there.
Amazing. No, thank you for that, and thank you for your time this evening as well, talking through everything and offering so much value to everybody that's listening. One final question for you: what have you had for your tea this evening?
Oh boy. Well, for my tea, because for my tea. So that what time was that? Around what?
Oh yeah. So in fact, actually, so your evening
because it's a bit different from in Poland and in Ghana.
No, that's the first challenge. So I say tea. Some people say dinner, and some people say supper. So your evening meal.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's simple. I had a sandwich, a cheese and ham sandwich, and that's what I had with the kids. So the kids also had their share of bagel and with melted cheese and ham, and yeah, that's what I had.
Amazing. No, thank you for sharing that as well. Much appreciated. So honestly, I just want to say good luck with everything that you've got going on. Thank you so much for your time this evening, chatting through everything. I think it's such a powerful. You've got such a powerful story, a powerful message, and you're doing such a powerful thing. So just thank you, and good luck with everything, Veronica.
Thank you, Lee.
Cheers. Hopefully catch up with you soon. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.